everybody. Let's see what Sir Charlie Stinky Socks is up to today. A book by Christina Stevenson, Sir Charlie Stinky Socks and the Tale of Two Treasures, published by Egmont. Once, upon a dusty shelf, in the musty space where a precious book should have been, the king of the castle, on top of the hill, found a paper scroll. He unrolled it and found a mystical map, showing the way to world underground. There was Tomb of Doom, a river of riddles, a mine of much despair, and there, in a puzzling pit, something beyond compare. "Treasure," said the king of the castle. "Then somebody needs to fetch it. Isn't it right that a bold, brave knight should go on such a quest?" "Oh, yes." How fitting, then, that Sir Charlie Stinky Socks just happened to be in the castle, along with his faithful, fearless cat, Envelope, and his good grey mare. 3 fine fellows, steadfast and ready. Well, nearly ready, that is. For the horse needed shoes. The cat couldn't choose what he ought to take with him, and bold brave Sir Charlie had a dent in his trusty sword. "Oh no! Send for the blacksmith," cried the king of the castle. "This knight must be prepared." Slightly scared, the blacksmith bowed before the king of the castle, while behind him his daughter did her best to show her father's wares. A hero's helmet, a shimmering shield, and a hammer to mend a sword. Heave-ho, clunkety-clunk, chink, chink, chink. "I think we're ready," said Sir Charlie Stinky Socks. And, map in hand, the eager band set off in search of the treasure. Clip, clop, tippity, tippity-toe. The echo of footsteps followed the friends, and someone watched them go. The mystical map took the trusty trio to a flight of stony stairs. A curtain of cobwebs hung at the top, but what was at the bottom? A frightful feeling filled the cat. Terror took over the mare. Only Sir Charlie Stinky Socks would dare to find out. He put on his helmet, he grabbed his shield, he drew his trusty sword. Hang on a second," he said to the others. "This is so unfair. Isn't it right that a well-prepared knight should offer to share his mettle?" Sir Charlie gave the cat his helmet, and the good grey mare his shield, before wielding his sword and leading them into the Tomb of Doom. It was a fearful room, but they had to go through. Trip, trap, trip, trap, tippity, tippity, toe. Eerie footsteps followed the 3, and skeletons watched them grow. What? Why did Sir Charlie and his steadfast friends suddenly seem to get bigger? "Yegat," said the knight, "the walls are moving. The Tomb of Doom is shrinking." Envelope squealed, the grey mare reeled. Would they be squashed to a pulp? Gulp. "Fear not," said Sir Charlie to his frightened friends, "for there's always a secret door." And there, on the floor, in a bundle of bones, B spotted a skeleton key. There had to be a lock to match, but could Sir Charlie find it? In less than a shake of a pussycat's tail, clever Sir Charlie did. Phew! A secret panel in the tomb slid open, and everyone leapt out. Phew! Roots and shoots from the garden above spilled into the tunnel below, and foreboding footsteps followed the three as someone watched them go. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter, down to the river of riddles. Oh, what a pity that treasure was on the other side. Envelope didn't seem bothered, nor did the smug grey mare. It seemed the pair had found the solution quicker than Sir Charlie. Ha! Hip, hop, clippity-clop, wouldn't this be a jiddle? Nope. The river rumbled, the stepping stones crumbled, and the cat and the horse fell in. Splash! Fiddlesticks, said Sir Charlie Stinky Socks. Now I'm going to have to get wet. Splosh! Sir Charlie rescued his faithful friends and pulled them back to the shore. The mystical map was soaked, but would you believe it? A riddle was showing through. Look for the stones that spell cat, the answer to find the path that is true. What can run but never walks? Has a mouth but never talks? Has a head but never weeps? Has a bed but never sleeps? One good guess, and yes, Sir Charlie solved this puzzle too. Hooray! Over the river, but still dripping wet, Sir Charlie stopped to think. It's best we rest and dry ourselves beside a warming fire. Drip, drip, crackle, spit. Clunk, clunk. What was that? Envelope woke up. Why was Sir Charlie dressed in his armor and tiptoeing away? Wait for us, thought the puzzled cat, and he rallied the groggy grey mare. They followed the knight, who followed the map to the mine of much despair. Beware. Envelope faltered, the grey mare froze, the bold knight didn't flicker. Quicker than you could say, trusty sword, he climbed aboard a wagon, leaving a pair of petrified pals wondering what they should do, until they heard the footsteps behind them and decided to jump in too. Ah, shriek, eek, ooh, ah, down to a puzzling pit where a knobbly cobbly was sitting on a chest, grinning a ghastly grin. The treasure is yours, he said to the knight, if you can guess which chest it is in. Whoops, said the gobbly. I nearly forgot. There's a teensy-weensy catch. To make things more interesting, why don't we say, you only get 3 goes. Get it right, and I promise the treasure is yours. But get it wrong, and I get the cat and the horse. Oh my! But this was Sir Charlie Stinky Socks. He wouldn't need 3 goes. The knight chose the chest that he thought looked best. He lifted the lid of the biggest one, but the treasure wasn't inside it. It was empty too. Oh, what was wrong with Sir Charlie Stinky Socks? Why wasn't he getting this right? And come to think of it, since they sat down to rest at the River of Riddle, the knight had been acting strangely. Could it possibly be that under that helmet, gasp, this wasn't Sir Charlie at all? Trip, trap, tiptoeing into the light. The real knight, Sir Charlie Stinky Socks, appeared to save the day. I know who you are, said kind Sir Charlie, so why don't you take off that helmet? 3 pairs of eyes watched with surprise, and there was the blacksmith's daughter. I'm sorry, she said to Sir Charlie. I followed you from the castle, and while you were sleeping by the River of Riddles, I borrowed your helmet and shield. More than anything else in the whole wide world, I want to be a knight. Then I'll help you get this right, said Sir Charlie. Let's think what a knight would do. The blacksmith's daughter looked at Sir Charlie, tip-tapping the mystical map. Oh, a knight will look at that, she said. It's bound to give him a clue. It was true. X marked the spot on the mystical map, and if she could find the right chest, not the biggest or the best, but the one that matched, then she'd find the treasure. Could you? The Nobly Gobbly was mightily mad because the blacksmith's daughter did. Hooray! Now all that was left was to find a way to get it to the king. How fortunate, then, that the bustling pit was down at the bottom of a well, and, as luck would have it, Envelope the cat had chosen to bring a bow. Ho, ho! Everyone, with one quick flick of his trusty sword, Sir Charlie made an arrow, and whiz, ping, what a thing! Everyone climbed out. The king of the castle was overjoyed when he looked inside the chest and found the best kind of treasure for a fairy tale king. A fabulous book of spells. Well, of course, he thanked Sir Charlie Stinky Socks, the cat, and the good grey mare. But he knighted the blacksmith's daughter and gave her a treasure beyond compare. The end.